All right, Susan. So it's great to see you again. I'm definitely looking forward to helping you get that game plan going that we talked about. So
Yes, I'm super excited too.
good, good. Did you have a chance to watch that orientation video?
I did. Thank you so much. That was really informative. I really, really like that.
Good. What did you gather? What are some things you gathered most from it?
Well, that first of all, that it's pretty much it's all on you. I love the fundamentals of helping families. I love the concepts. I loved everything actually. I'm really excited. I think this is a new venture for me. And I'm excited to get out there. I've been staying
Good.
home forever, it feels like, and now I'm ready to go conquer the world.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, I'm excited for you. And I know that when we spoke, we talked about, really having a game plan for you to hit the ground running so you can know exactly what is in the palm of your hands and what you're going to work on. And before we get into all those details, I just want to find out what some of your goals are, because obviously starting out in life, many of us have goals and dreams up here. And then we get into the workforce and we realize our income is down here. So we tend to lower down our goals and dreams to meet our income. Obviously, you're in a position now where you don't have to compromise on those things. We can help you to earn all the income you're looking to earn to be able to reach those goals. So what are some things that come to mind that more money will help you accomplish? And I'm
Well,
going to take notes, by the way. I'm taking
yeah,
notes.
yeah. To be honest with you, I think just really saving more money. That really is really important to me and my husband. We've saved up money for retirement, but we really feel that, everybody talks about that and we're not quite sure if we have enough saved or if our
Right.
investments, are going to be sufficient when we get to retirement age. So we really want to save more money, Erica.
Okay, good. So save for retirement. What else comes to mind that, once you've already gotten a game plan for savings, what else comes to mind you want to accomplish? Any family goals that more money is needed for?
Yeah, well, we'd like to maybe take some vacations.
Good.
We haven't been able to do that in the past, so that's something that
Okay.
we'd like to do.
All right, good. Anywhere come to mind if you could choose one place to go first?
Yeah, actually, we really want to go to Washington and we want to see all the monuments. So
Wow.
that's been on our bucket list. We really want to do that.
Okay, that sounds great. And anything else come to mind? Maybe one or two more. You mentioned your homeowners already. I know a lot of people, if they're
Yes.
not, that's a goal that they have. Um,
Yeah.
I know you mentioned
No, we're homeowners. I think really just, maybe some saving for our grandkids too, because we do have four grandkids. So
travel.
set up ourselves, set up them, and that would be awesome.
Great. All right, perfect. And what about a monthly income goal? Because I know right now, you mentioned you're staying home, but if you could put a number on it in the next 30, 60, 90 days, what's an ideal monthly income we could help you to earn to start working towards these goals?
Around 3,000,
Okay.
about $3,000 is really what I'm hoping to achieve.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So I'm writing that down right now. So again, in the notes section of your contact info, right, I have all of your goals right there. So
Oh,
every time
awesome.
we talk, I can see those goals and I know what you're working towards, and we're going to make sure we help you do that. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get right into that game plan, because following the system we have, as long as you stay plugged in with us and you follow everything we ask you to do, there's no question of whether or not you'll accomplish those things. I mean, with us, success is guaranteed as long as you do what we ask you to do. We're in a position right now where we have a lot of work and not enough of us. So the sooner we get you trained and licensed, the sooner you can help us lighten that load. Okay. So let
Awesome.
me go ahead and share my screen here. So first step you already took care of, that was getting your ID number issued. You became a recruiter, new associate, submitting your independent business application. Next step is getting you field trained. So we really believe in hands-on training, kind of like when you learn to drive. Did you learn more behind the wheel or behind a book?
Oh, behind the behind the wheel for sure.
Definitely behind the wheel. Same thing here.
Yeah.
We're not going to stick you in the classes and expect you to learn how to do what we do. That's just to pass the state exam. But the real training is going to be from you being on appointments with us, Zoom appointments, right? Where you can see questions people ask, how we answer them, how you can put them in better positions, or how they refer us to other people. And just like when you learn to drive, at first you're in the passenger seat, right? You're just watching the driver and kind of observing. And then eventually we swap spots and you're in the driver's seat and I'll be in the passenger seat, just observing how you do. And then you'll be on your own. And pretty soon after, you'll be training other people, right? Teaching others how to drive. So we want to make sure we get you that training as quickly as we can, because I mean, you notice it says there are 5 to 10 training appointments. Ideally, if we can do that in your first 5 to 10 days, I mean, that's, great, because you're going to be learning a lot faster. Because if you have one appointment tomorrow and you don't have another one for another 2 weeks, chances are you forgot what happened on the first one before you got to the next one, right? So
Right. Yeah.
we want to help you condense time frames. So if you can have one tomorrow and two the next day and one the next day and three the next day, right? You're going to learn this thing a lot faster and really master your craft. And while you're doing that, you're going to be able to earn a bonus, which we'll talk about on the next slide. Now, on top of the field training, we're also going to help you to get licensed, okay? Because you can have all the training in the world, but if you don't have a license to put it to use, what good is that? Right?
Right.
Or you can focus on just getting licensed, but if you don't have any experience, then what good is that? You have a license and not know how to use it, right? So we're gonna have
True.
you walk and chew gum at the same time, okay? You're gonna do those two things simultaneously, and while you're getting that done, it's our job to help you to earn a promotion, okay? So we don't talk about probation your first 30, 60, 90 days. A lot of companies have you on a probation period. You're walking on eggshells, you can't show up late, you can't take time off, right? And you're hoping they keep you after that period's over. With us, we're focused on getting you promoted in your first 30 days, okay? Because if you are promoted to the next position, then that means you can teach somebody else how to do the exact same thing you did, right? And there we are with the duplication, and you can help us again start lightening that load and training other people. Now, if you were to get licensed tomorrow, not having any experience, you would automatically start at a 25% position. That just means the average client you help just with life insurance, that's the first license you're getting, you're going to make about $250 for maybe 30 minutes or an hour of work. Okay, so not bad for 30 minutes or an hour, but as a senior rep, you'd be at a 35% earn 350 for the average client. District is 50%, you would earn $500. So for the same time and effort, would you rather earn 250, 350, or 500?
Oh, obviously 500.
Yeah, more money makes more sense, right? So we're
Right.
just gonna work on a game plan to help you get there. Now, let's say, for example, that's you in the middle and us training you. If we bring 3 people into your business in the next 3 days, do you think that you're gonna be in a position to train them just yet?
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't want to.
Right, you're still in training yourself. So we're gonna start training
Right.
your team, but do you think they want to come on board and just clap for you from the sidelines while you make money?
No.
No, they're gonna be happy for you, but they want to do the same. So they're gonna start building teams, right? Now, do you think I'm gonna be able to train all those people by myself?
Well, you seem pretty good, but maybe,
Thank
maybe not. I'm not sure.
Probably not by myself, right? Especially if we're doing individual trainings for everybody. So who do you think will start taking over in the next 30, 60, 90 days for your team?
Me?
Exactly. So we want to make sure, again, you're competent, you're confident, you know what you're doing. We're not going to throw you out there and say, hey, go figure it out and start leading some people, right? We got to make sure that you know what you're doing. So don't worry about that. We'll make sure we work on that together. But getting you competent and confident, that's the whole point of your training process. Now, your first 30 days, you have me exclusively training you. After the 30 days, I may have to have somebody else. If you didn't do enough training, I may have to have somebody else help you, right? One of our top field trainers. But me personally, I have an obligation to the brand new person. Okay, so that's you. So we want to make sure we help you to reach these bonuses and make sure that you're on track to learn everything you need to learn. So now let's say you're licensed, okay, and you're at that 50% position. You personally help a client. The company is going to pay you $500 for helping that client, but then you have somebody on your team get licensed. Maybe they didn't go through any training. They just got their license. They're going to start at a 25% position. They personally help a client. The company is going to pay them 250 because that's the position they're at. But the company's also going to pay you an override of 250, and you don't even know who the family was they helped. Okay,
Wow.
remember in your interview process, we talked about overrides. So you
Hmm.
don't have to wait to become a regional vice president to start earning overrides. You can start earning overrides as soon as you're licensed and you have a licensed person in your business. All
Wow.
right, so you don't have to wait for that to happen. Now you have somebody on your team get licensed. Maybe they did a little bit of training in the beginning and they got promoted to the 35%. They help a client, company's going to pay them 350, and they're also going to pay you the override of 150, the difference between your position and theirs. So we are in the business of financial services, but the bigger picture is that it's the distribution of financial services, right? And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Our mentors, Susan and Art Carreon, make over 1.3 million a year. And the reason they make that amount of income is because they have over 1,000 licensed agents. Now, when it comes to what we do, right, some of those licensed agents, we're a voluntary army, right? Some of those licensed agents help one client a month, some help one client every quarter, some help clients every day, some are brokers with their own offices like ourselves. Everybody comes to the business for different reasons, but obviously goals evolve as you grow. If we were to put those 1,000 licensed agents under you, you'd probably be making a million as well.
Right.
And the company's done a study. We have 129 people now in the company that make over a million annually. An average person, when they crossed over that milestone, they had about 1,000 licenses in their business. Now, on a smaller scale, to cross over 100,000 in annual income, average person has about 30 licenses in their business, right? Noah and I, when we crossed that milestone, we had only about 10. Okay, and we did majority of the work. So some people come on board. I mean, because of the licenses we have, we're paid well for what we do. Some people come on board and say, you know what, I don't want to recruit anybody. I'm just going to be a professional financial planner and an advisor and get all my licenses and help people with their money. And that's fine. You can do that all day long, still make 10,000 a month. But if you stop working, what stops coming into your bank account?
Obviously, money.
Money, right? So you're still self-employed. There's no freedom in that. Okay.
Right.
So I like to lay it all out for you. Whatever you decide to do from here is completely up to you, but I want you to know the possibilities and what you have in the palm of your hands, what's available to you, and then we'll work with you at your pace from here. Okay. Any questions so far? Does that make sense?
No, perfectly clear. That's
All right.
awesome.
Perfect. So let's talk about that bonus now. While you're in the process of training with us, every time we recruit one person direct to you in your business and help the average client with life insurance, average client pays about $1,000 annually. So anytime you see 1,000, it's about $84 a month times 12 months in the year. That's 1,000 a year in premium. So that just means, whenever you see 1,000, it's the average client we help with life insurance. Because if you never see us help a client while you're in training, do you think you're going to know how to help a client when you're licensed?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you got to see the whole process, right? That's the point of
Right.
training. So every time we do one recruit for you and 1,000 in production while we're training you, you're going to bank $200 in your bonus. Okay. So you already have a $50 bonus just for logging into the app your first 24 hours. And then when you finish your classes the first 30 days, you're getting an extra $100 bonus. So that's $150. Let's say all you do, you don't do any training, you just get licensed in the next 30 days, you're getting a $150 bonus. So that 124 you invested is coming right back with a little extra, right?
Right.
And a
Yeah.
license to be able to make
Yeah.
more. Okay, but while we're training you, we get you to 3 by 3,000 in your training. That's going to pay you a $600 bonus. Plus, that's going to give you a promotion to senior rep. So when you do get licensed, you can start at that 35% instead of just 25. Okay, there's a little more for you to do to get to district. Now, 6 by 6,000 will pay you a $1,200 bonus. 10 by 10 is 2,000. There's no maximum. All right. So we want to help you to earn as much as possible in your training process. Our largest and fastest bonus that was paid out most recently was to Miko in our office. And Miko, you'll meet her. She's our licensing specialist as well. But Miko, she started with us just like you did yesterday, submitted her application. 10 days later, she had her life insurance license. By day 15, her bonus was $4,500.
Wow. Good for her.
So yeah, it doesn't take long to make money in our business. And she'll tell you the bonus was great, but the real bonus she got was the experience. Okay. Because all she did was put a ton of people in front of me and watched how I talked to them and shared simple presentations. Now she's our #1 field trainer, right? Any appointment we need covered, we call Miko because she knows how to do it exactly like I do, right?
Right,
So
right.
we want to put you in that same position. When I was in training, I wish they would have had a bonus like this. Mine probably would have been $10,000 because I went like 45 training appointments my first 30 days. I just didn't want to mess up when I was on my own, being 19, right? I mentioned to you I was really young when I started, and I was like,
Wow.
I'm going to be sitting with people in their 40s and 50s. I better know what the heck I'm talking about,
Sure.
right?
That's
So
true. Yeah.
I mentioned to you before as well that we're so busy, we're dizzy. So we're sometimes having to reschedule appointments because I can't be with 10 people at once. Now, if you're in a position where you're licensed, do you think I'm going to feed you appointments if you don't know what you're doing?
No, I would hope not. No.
Right. You probably wouldn't even want those
On
appointments.
them. Right.
So that's how crucial your training is in your first 30 days. Okay. So again, we're going to work with you at your pace, work around your schedule, but we definitely want to make sure we help you to learn this thing quick. So as soon as you're licensed, you can be very profitable, even training other people in the team. All right. Does
Awesome.
that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, as we're training you, if we can help families in any of these areas during your training process, we're going to make sure that we're using your ID number. So you get paid on these, okay? Because you're already active to be able to make money there. And there's a certification you need to do for one of them, a video to watch for another. So I'll show you how to do that later, but definitely make sure that you're learning about these on Primerica Online. So we'll make sure that we go over that with you on another training. All right. But you will be able to make money in all these areas. Now, our schedule, this is super important. Okay. So think about this. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you walk into your kitchen and you unplug the refrigerator. What's going to happen to all the food inside?
Oh, it'll spoil.
Yes. And it's the same thing in our thinking. When you're unplugged from the source being trainings where there's positivity, encouragement, guidance, and training, chances are your thinking is going to spoil, right? You're going to start reverting back to like your just regular daily habits of being a mom and doing other things. And all of a sudden you get further and further away from your goals and you wonder like, what's going on? I'm not getting anywhere. And it's because you're
Right.
not plugged in. Okay. So we want to make sure we keep you plugged into the source because, otherwise, again, you're going to start thinking like self-doubt, right? Oh my gosh, can I really do this? I don't know. Did I make the right choice? Can I pass the exam? Is this
Right.
for me, right? Do I have what it takes? And then you jump on a training with us and you hear from an 18-year-old girl that just made $5,000 last month. And you're like, what? If she can do it, I can do it, right?
Right.
And you get right back
Exactly.
on track and work
Yep.
towards those goals you have. So
Mhm.
people always ask, what's the most important meeting? Most important is the next meeting, okay? Because you're going to catch something. More of our business is caught than taught. You're going to
Right.
catch something on one of those trainings that helps you get to the next level in your business. So Sunday nights, it's 7 p.m. That's for everybody with their rep ID number that's active, just like you have now. So
Mhm.
7 p.m., we usually go for about an hour and a half. And then it's always something different you're learning on there. Mondays at 5:45 a.m., we have a big hitters call. And this is the reasons at that time is because it's based out of Florida. So, the East Coast, I mean, it's definitely going to be a few hours later, of course. So 5:45 to 6, that first 15 minutes is recruiting tips. Okay. And you're learning from people that are recruiting 100, 200 people a month in the company. and they're telling you exactly what they're doing, their mindset, how they're doing it. So it's just how-tos, to get your business going. And then that next hour of the call is the main call, and you're hearing from different leaders in our company that make $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, right? People that are just doing great things in the company. And the call is actually run by somebody named Larry Weidel, who's been making over $1 million a year in Primerica since 1987. Okay, so definitely somebody who knows what they're talking about. He has podcasts where he interviews other, successful leaders in business, but this call is specifically for Primerica. So definitely make sure you plug into that. Larry and his son Adam run that call, and you're always going to get, nuggets that'll help you grow. And then also on Mondays at 9 a.m. from 9 to 10, we do a Zoom broadcast. It's actually our PFN, Primerica Freedom Network. It's based out of our office in our home office in Georgia. And they actually have different leaders that they're flying out to Georgia, or they're connecting on Zoom, and they're broadcasting it to every office in the company. And you're hearing from people that are doing big things in the company, right? Hitting milestones, and they have their top 1 or 2 leaders that are speaking with them. And on that broadcast, you're going to hear from somebody that was a stay-at-home mom just like you, or somebody who, came from the same town you came from, and they're making $400,000 a year. And that's just more confirmation, like, wow, I can do this, right? So there's just so much you can learn from so many people, and everybody's so willing to give. And then the last 30 minutes there, we stay on my Zoom, and we kind of recap on what we got out of that, and just get our week set up. We go over some exciting things happening within the company. And then on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m., we have our business overview. Okay, so this one, because you're in California, you have the opportunity to be here. I mean, we have a whole team. We're training in gosh, I think we're in 12 states now. We have a team in Hawaii. We have a team on the East Coast in New York. So, I mean, they say if they were within 5 hours of our office, they would drive to the office just to be a part of these in-person trainings. Okay. But when it comes to, you being right around the corner, I definitely recommend you show up as often as possible. So on Tuesdays at 7 p.m., we have it live. We broadcast it from the office, so anybody out of state can log on to Zoom. But if you're in person, I definitely recommend getting there around 6:30, so that way we can talk a bit before you're not running in while we're getting started. And we're going over the opportunity for people. So what we talked about one-on-one yesterday. On business overview on that night, we actually go further in detail about who we are as a company, what we do for people, some of the financial concepts we teach, and how a new person can get involved and start working with the company. So we can help you to build your business that way. And then Thursday nights, you won't plug into that just yet, not until you're licensed. But when you are licensed, you can join us on Thursdays. And Saturday mornings from 9 to 12 at the office. And again, we're live streaming from the office on Zoom. So if somebody can't make it in person, they can log in starting at 10 a.m. And we go for a couple of hours on Zoom there. So there's always different things, drill for skill, and, just highlighting different leaders that are doing great things with us as well. So altogether, if you break this down, this is less than 8 hours, okay, for the whole week. We're not talking an 8-hour day job, right? Less than 8 hours for the whole week. So
awesome.
are there any days on here that based on your schedule and your current obligations, are there any days you cannot plug into?
No, I think I'm good with all of them. And I apologize. I've got our landscapers are here, so if you hear any
Oh,
noise,
not
that's
at all.
just my landscapers.
Oh, no worries. I know I saw the mute go out a couple times. I was like, okay, somebody might be loud. Don't worry. You know what? These Zooms, they have noise canceling things. So it's
Oh,
amazing. Sometimes
good.
my 2-year-old is yelling, and the person can't even hear him. So
Oh, good. I felt so bad. I seen him. I got a little nervous. I was like,
oh,
oh, no, they're here cutting the grass, but I'm
no
sorry
problem.
about that. All
No
righty.
worries. So like I mentioned, 8 hours, right, for the whole week. Now, let me ask you something just to put this into perspective. Your last job you had, how many weeks was it before you got your first paycheck?
Two, actually. Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks.
And it was
And
really, that was when I was very young, Erica, because like I said, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I worked when I was a young teenager in my young
right,
teens, but I know it's normally two because that's what my husband's
fine.
was. But
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. So 2 weeks. And how much, and even if you want to say your husband's income, I mean, how much was the paycheck, do you think?
oh gosh, for 2 weeks, it was like $758.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty specific. You remember that one, right?
I do.
$758. That's cool. Okay, and how many hours did you work in each of those weeks? About 40? Was it full time?
He worked, yeah, no, he worked 40 plus the commute, so we went from Moreno Valley all the way to El Monte. He went from Moreno Valley to El Monte, so I would have to say, gosh, maybe like 50 hours away from the home.
Right. Okay, so that's about, if you break that down, 2 weeks, 50 hours a week, that's 100 hours, right?
Mhm.
So after 100 hours of putting in time, effort, and energy, he got a paycheck, or you guys got a paycheck for $758. The reason
Right.
I share that is because with us, if you put in a quarter of those hours, okay, into your business in Primerica in the next 2 weeks, you're going to make about 5 or 10 times that. Okay.
Wow.
And I'm just telling you that because some people come into Primerica and they treat it like a hobby. Okay. I don't
Mm.
know about you, but my hobbies don't pay me. Okay. I actually pay for my hobbies, right?
Yeah, so do I.
Yes. So in business, when you're coming into business, I'm very clear on this part because I don't want people to be disillusioned and think like, wow, I've been a part of the company for a month and nothing's happened. Well,
Right,
have you put any effort
right.
towards learning the business? Like if you break down how many hours you actually applied yourself, it's not much, right? And logging onto a Zoom, right? You're not going to get paid for just logging onto this is to help you grow and help you to learn. But the actual training appointments we schedule, which is the next slide we'll go over, training appointments and us scheduling the one-on-one Zooms. That's happening in all that white area there. And anytime we don't have a training, we're doing all of the other one-on-one times, right? But again, we'll work with you at your pace and around your schedule. But just to put that into perspective for you, I want to make sure that we're on the same page there because I got a funny message from somebody that I think did not pay attention to any of the fast start I did, any of this process, because she was asking when she was going to get paid for logging on to a Zoom training. And I was like, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm clear moving forward. So
Right.
but we're good there. Okay, perfect. So when it comes to scheduling training appointments, this is so important. Okay, this is the most important thing of everything we're going to talk about right now is scheduling your training appointments because at this point, you've only seen 2 out of the 3 presentations that you need to learn. One of them was the interview process we did yesterday. What we're
Right.
doing now, what we're wrapping up is the fast start, getting a new person off to a fast start. That's the second one you'll learn. Third one is the training appointment where you're going to learn exactly what you'll be doing yourself when you're sitting with families, when you're licensed, how we use our licenses and the financial concepts that we teach families, right? So very, very important. Now, by the way, once you've seen all those 3, okay, you're halfway. I mean, you're already 2 out of 3 there. Everything else after that we do, it's all repetition of those 3, just with different people. Okay, so I mean, it's super important that you understand what you're actually going to be able to do with those licenses and the impact you'll have on families' lives. So scheduling training appointments, it's just like any business you'd start. Let's say you opened your own restaurant. Who would be the first people you tell that you're having a grand opening?
Oh, my sister Debbie and her husband Dennis.
Okay, family, right? Maybe some friends, right? If you're going down that list,
Hmm.
definitely. Because think of it this way. I mean, if you're having that grand opening, you want your friends and family to tell people about it, right? Spread the
Absolutely.
word, and they care about your success the most, okay?
Hmm.
More than a stranger does, right? So talking with friends and family and business and any business you have, it's the same thing, right? I mean, you're going to tell them, hey, show up to the grand opening. We want it to be a huge success. Tell everybody about it. Put a blast on social media. We want a line around the block so that news crews show up and they're like, what is
Right.
going on here? Publicity, right? Same thing.
Yep.
You opened a hair salon. You're going to tell everybody, hey, stop going to whoever you're going to. Start coming to me,
Right.
my business.
Yep.
Send people my way. Same thing here. Can you imagine if you're out knocking on doors, talking to strangers, which we're never going to have you do. So don't worry, it's not how we operate. But imagine you're doing that and you have a sister over here or a cousin, they're struggling, they're in debt up to here, they have the worst programs, and they have no idea that what you're learning could possibly help them.
Right.
That would be like having a cure for cancer and not sharing with people you care most about that could have cancer. So
Right.
we have the cure for financial cancer, and it's our job to make you the go-to person when it comes to finances among everybody that knows you, right?
Mhm.
So anytime they come across somebody talking about overpaying on auto insurance, they're going to say, oh, call my cousin Susan, she can help you with that. Or they come across somebody that's like, hey, I have this 401k at work. I don't understand investments. Call my
Right.
niece Susan, she's licensed. She can help you with that, right? So
Mm.
you have these constant referrals coming in from people who know and trust you. Now, if you were to call them now for referrals, they'd be like, what? What are you going to teach these people about money? Like, you're a stay-at-home mom. How are you going to
Right.
our
Right.
finances, right? Like, they don't
Right.
know you as a professional in finances yet. But
Right.
you do have credibility with them where they would help you with a training appointment. And I
Mhm.
have the ability to share with them what you're getting trained and licensed to do. So they feel confident referring you people, knowing you're being trained by somebody who knows what they're talking about, right? So
Right.
going through this process of training, you're scheduling appointments just for training purposes. So you say, hey, how's it going? How's the family? Maybe you're calling a cousin. You say,
Mhm.
hey, as you know, times have changed. I was looking for a way to supplement my income working from home around my schedule. I'm working really hard to save money so we can have Art retire, my husband retire, right? We can have him retire from work and just be able to spend time with our grandkids. I'm working really hard to save more money so our family can travel more. Whatever
Right.
your goals are, see, whatever you put in those parentheses, that's most important in this
Right.
$6 phone call.
Mm.
That's going to make them more inclined to make the time to help you, right?
Mhm.
Because I mean, if you have a goal you're working towards, think about like Girl Scouts or anything like that. Oh yeah,
Right.
helping you
Sure.
reach your goal. Even if they don't want the cookies, they're
Absolutely.
going to buy the cookies, right? Here, we're
Right.
not telling them to have to buy anything. All they're doing is giving you 30 minutes of their time, maybe 40 minutes for a training appointment. Okay. So
Right. Are you going to give me a copy of this so that I
oh,
can
absolutely.
practice it?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. I'm
good.
glad you mentioned that. I know sometimes people are taking screenshots. I will send you an email right after this with everything we're talking about.
Awesome.
So
Okay, great.
you'll be good. So I'm working really hard to, reach XYZ goal. That's actually the reason for my call. I just started working part-time and I'm excited about it. I'm going through training right now and I was wondering if you could help me out. And they might say, yeah, how can I help you? What do you need me to
Yeah.
do? You say, well, I'm in the process of getting licensed in finances and I just need about 30 to 40 minutes of your time for a Zoom meeting with my trainer. More than anything, it's for my experience before I get licensed. And I'd
Mhm.
also like to share with you what I'm doing so you can refer me to other people who can benefit from the info. Would you and your husband be able to help me with that? And they might
Yeah,
say, yeah, what kind of license are you getting?
sure.
What's it about? They're curious, right? You
Mhm.
just got to be getting licensed to do financial services, but don't worry, there's no obligation of anything. I'm just learning how to give presentations. So the more questions you ask my trainer, the better it is for my training. And they say, yeah, sounds good. We'll help you. No problem. Okay, great. We're having all meetings through Zoom. And in order for me to get training credit, it does have to be with husband and wife. So what day works best for both of you? Tomorrow or Wednesday? And they say tomorrow. Okay, 2 or 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. You schedule the time. Okay, great. I'm going to put that on my calendar. I'll let my trainer know. Thank you so much for your help. I'll text you the login info for Zoom after we hang up, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay, so you notice doesn't say anything about, hey, let me help you with your insurance, let me get you out of
No.
debt, let me save you money. The second you start individually naming everything we do is the second they start avoiding you like the plague because they think you're trying to sell them something. Okay.
Right,
And
right,
it's not
right.
the point of this training. It's really for you to gain experience, right? So
Mhm.
they're going to ask the best questions for you to learn from, and you're going to learn how to, do what we do. So when you're licensed, you're more competent and confident. All right. So when you're scheduling those appointments, you want it to be with people in this category. Macho is an acronym we use, just stands for married or they're living together. They're between 25 and 55, more or less. They have children that depend on them. They're homeowners or renting, and they have an occupation. At least one of them is working. So
Right.
all five of those is a great training appointment because they're right in the middle of everything we talk about. So they're going
Mhm.
to ask the best questions. They're going to know people in that category to refer to you. And, going through that process, even if it's just, maybe they have 4 out of those 5 points, like it's a single parent, but they have the other 4, that's still a good training appointment. So we'll kind of go case by case to see which ones are best for training. And if they're not, if it's 3 or less of those points, then you can still schedule appointments to share the business opportunity with them.
Right.
Okay, so maybe it's somebody that you're close to that, you want to schedule to share with them what you're doing, see if they want to work with us as well. You can just say, hey, how's it going? Listen, the reason I'm calling is because I just started working from home and the office I'm working with is expanding. I'd like to share with you what I'm doing so I can get your opinion on it. I think it would be a great fit for you, but if it isn't, you can refer me to other people that might want to make extra income. Can you help me with that? And they'll say, yeah, sure, I'll listen in and, learn about it, right? And then we're
Mhm.
sharing with those ones exactly what I shared with you yesterday. The cash flow quadrant, how we earn income, how they can do the same,
Right.
right? And what we
Mhm.
do for people. And if it's somebody that you don't really talk to too often, you'd rather I call them, you can just shoot them a text. Say, hey, so-and-so, I just started working out of an office part-time. They're looking for more people to work from home, so I recommended you. Expect a call from Erika. She'll show all the details. Okay, and then those ones, I'm calling them, you could be at your daughter's, softball game or, hanging out with your grandkids or whatever you have going on. And I'm texting you like, hey, guess what? So-and-so just came on board. Your business is growing, right? So we're
Mhm.
going to be working for you on the recruiting side. Now, if you can be on every recruiting interview that we schedule, that's great. We'll let you know when they are because I want you to learn that part. But if
Right.
you can't, we're still going to make sure we set those ones up for you and start building you a business, right? And all of these ones up here, right? The training appointments you schedule, of course, you're going to be on all of those. You're going to schedule it when you're able to be on as well. Okay. Because
Okay.
for your training. All right.
Okay.
Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what I want to do right now is help you just with a game plan to hit the ground running.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to brainstorm right now. So who comes to mind that would most likely be the first to help you with the training appointment?
My sister Debbie.
Your sister
Debbie.
Debbie. Okay.
Yep. Debbie and Dennis.
Okay, Debbie and Dennis. All
Mhm.
right. Who else comes to mind?
Let's see, Christine and Isaac.
Okay, Christine and Isaac. Who else?
Bryce and Cassandra.
Grace and Cassandra. Okay. And who else?
My cousin Terry, but she's single. She's not married.
No problem. Terry. All
Uh-huh.
right.
Then I've got Yubi and Mo.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Anybody else come to mind? Your closest circle?
Yeah, Yvette and Caesar.
Okay.
So funny, I always give you the females' names first, huh? That's because they're my friends, not the husbands.
Right. Mhm.
Yvonne and David.
Okay. And David.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um, Kathy and Ronnie.
Okay.
And Sandy and David.
Okay, Sandy and David. All
Uh-huh.
right, and just for time's sake, we're gonna go with the top 10, right? And you're gonna be able to add to this. I'm gonna send this to you in the email. So
Okay.
the majority of these people have all five, if not at least four of those points.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
With the exception of Terry. She is
Single.
the only one would be married. She's just not married, but other than
Yeah.
that, she has all the other ones. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. All right, good. So we're going to start there with the training appointments. And then, by the way, every training appointment you have, every person we sit with is like a doorway that opens, right, to everybody they know. Okay. So again, they're not going to refer you people if they don't know exactly what you're going to talk to those people about. So
Right.
that's why it's important that we share with these ones first.
Hmm.
Now, outside of the training appointments, who comes to mind that wouldn't qualify for a training appointment? Maybe it's they have like less than those 5 points. Maybe they just have three or two or one, right? At least 18 years old and a clean background. Who comes to mind that you think is hardworking or maybe motivated, money motivated, or always looking for something more, entrepreneur minded? Who comes to mind like that?
Hugo,
Okay, Hugo. All right, who else?
Kenya,
Kenya,
Rudy,
Rudy,
Veronica,
Veronica.
Tiffany,
Okay,
Gabe,
great,
and those are all, they're all single. I mean,
perfect.
they do work, but they're single,
Right.
they have children,
Okay.
and they're not
Ours
homeless.
just for recruit because we can, not that we can't recruit the people up here. We'll definitely offer the opportunity on the back end, but if we can schedule them for a training appointment for you, I want to utilize that first.
Okay,
We can still share the opportunity on the back end with them.
got it.
All right. And then these ones will be for recruiting purposes. And would you say those are probably all who's coming to mind so far?
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
so now I want to share something with you that I share with everybody ever since it happened. So we actually were training somebody a few years back. His parents were clients of ours, and it was time for him to go from his freshman to his sophomore year of college. And they gave us a call that said, "Hey guys, Andrew's going into his summer break. He needs a summer job. Can you help him out? Right? We want him to learn about money, everything he helped us with." We said, "Absolutely." So we brought him on board. We got to this point of making his list, and he's going through his contacts, and he's like, "You know what? I have a lot of phone numbers in my phone. I don't even know who half these people are." Like
Mhm.
maybe I met him one time at a party, or maybe I had a class with them years ago and I never
Right,
talked to him again, right? He said, "I'm sure they're looking for work. Who doesn't want to make extra money? But it would be awkward if you told them I recommended them. Could you just call them and leave my name out of it, see if they're even looking?" And I was like,
right.
"Sure, I could do that." So he made a list of like 5 pages long, front and back. I didn't even
Wow.
get halfway through, I didn't even get through the L's. And we ended up recruiting for him 20 people that summer, over 20 people actually that summer. And out of those people, 10 of them got licensed right away. And it came time for him to go back to school. And his mom called us and she's like, "Hey guys, Andrew's making a lot of money with you. I don't want him to lose sight of school. You need to have a talk with him." And she worked
Sure.
at the University of Leuven where he went to school. So she was very adamant that he focus, right? And we said,
Right.
"No problem." So we called him. We're like, "Andrew, your mom called us, focus on school. We'll take care of your team." So he did that. And that month of August, he didn't help any clients himself. He didn't even show up to any trainings. And he still made over $3,000 just in overrides.
Wow.
Team was still using their licenses. So this
Hmm.
is where I say, pull all the stops out. Let's put down as many people as you can think of. And you can actually add to this. If I had the time, I would do it with you now, but I have an appointment right after yours. So I'm going to send you that email. I
Okay.
recommend putting everybody that you have a number for at this point. Okay, first
Okay.
start with the ones that you're closest to. All
Mhm.
right. But even if it's somebody you want me to call, not even mention your name, you can just put NN here. That means no name. So I know
Okay.
I'm calling them. I'm just mentioning, "Hey, I get referrals on a regular basis. Are you open to working?" Even if they aren't, I'll tell them we're doing a lot of interviews and
Hmm.
hours are flexible, pay is great. Do you know anybody else you want to recommend? Maybe someone that got hours cut or maybe has been laid off recently and they might say, "Yeah, my sister's looking or my cousin's looking," and
Right.
referrals will continue to come from there, right? So we're going
Mhm.
to help you to build that list, and you never know who's praying
Right.
for an opportunity, right?
Hmm.
That's why I say
Hmm.
don't leave anybody out because there's somebody out there that's just maybe it seems like they have it all together, but they can't stand their job. They're
Right.
frustrated. They hit the glass ceiling. They're looking for
Yeah,
something
that
more.
makes sense.
Right. And this could be the blessing that they're looking for. And I see recruiting as, I mean, think of it this way, like we talked about yesterday, the cash flow quadrant, right? And when
Right.
I asked you which side do you want to be on, the left side or the right side, which one did you pick?
The right side.
The right side. So do you think it's possible to be a successful business owner all by yourself?
No, absolutely not. No.
Gotta have a team, right? So it's our job to pretty much like scout and look for the team that's going to help you to build a solid business. And at the same time that they're helping you, you're also giving them the same opportunity to do the exact same thing for their family, right? And that's
Hmm.
really the beauty of our business. I mean, my husband and I, we see recruiting as just an outward expression of gratitude for
Hmm.
what this company's done for us. I mean, our lives have been completely transformed forever. Our son's life, our moms, our parents, our
Yeah.
grandkids, our family tree has changed forever. all
Yeah,
because somebody offered the opportunity, we said yes, and we just kept taking it a step further and a step further and a step further, and that's really what we want to help you to do. Whatever you want out of this business will definitely be doable. Just apply yourself, stay in communication with us. If there's any ever like and I'm going to stop the share, we're good here. So, and
right,
by the way, normally we'll add the phone numbers as we go. Okay, we're not going to for the training purposes, just so you guys know that we'll add numbers as we go, at least on the recruiting side, minimum, right?
right.
And work on that. But some closing comments that are super important to recap on. Stay in communication with us, right? Because it's super important that we know where you're at. Like if we're reaching out and we don't get any response back, all we want to do is help you reach those goals that you said you have. Right. So
Right,
if there's something going on in life, just shoot us a text like, hey, I'm super busy. Sorry, I haven't gotten back to you.
right,
I'll reach out soon. Whatever it
right,
is, just so we know, like, okay, no problem. Like, we're going to
right.
work you at your pace. You're not going to be fired for
Mm,
not logging onto Zoom, right? You're not going to be, I mean, you're an independent contractor.
right,
Okay. Nobody's going to fire you for not showing up. All right. We want to help those who want our help. Okay. And the more you stay plugged in, just at trainings and everything, like I mentioned earlier, more is caught than taught. So just put
right.
in your calendar. Think of it this way, like at your job, the last job you had, if you were a no call, no show, you just didn't show up to work, what would happen?
Just fire me, I'm
They would
sure.
fire you, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure you wouldn't even do that. Okay.
no.
Think about how committed you've been to jobs that are paying you a minimum wage. Maybe it's
Mm,
not technically minimum wage, but it's just minimal income, right? Just to
mhm.
barely get by and barely pay the bills,
Right,
right?
right.
A lot of
Mhm.
people say they're super busy. We're all busy, but some of us are busy getting by and some of us are busy getting ahead, right? We
Right,
can help you get busy with getting ahead and reaching those goals you
right,
have. And this is the
right.
best opportunity that you have to do that. I guarantee you, nobody will work for you as hard as we will to make those things happen. And Noah
Thank
and I, we have a game plan in the next year to promote at least 3 to 6 regional vice presidents. Now we
Wow.
know we have an idea of who maybe 3 or 4 of them are because they're showing, signs that they're working towards that and they're showing the
Right.
results of it. But we still have room. We're still looking for more that want that opportunity. All right.
Awesome.
So we're going to give you everything we have. We just ask that you stay in communication with us. If you can't make a training, just shoot us a text so we know. I mean, what happens with all the people we're working with that are showing up, we give them all of our time and effort and energy. And don't be surprised if you don't hear from me every day because we brought on board about 85 people in the last 45 days. So
Wow.
we're working with so many people that sometimes, if somebody stops showing up, like nobody just writes a letter saying, oh, I quit or I'm not going to do it anymore. They just stop showing up. Right.
Right.
And then we look up one day and we're like, hey, whatever happened to so-and-so? And we say, man, I don't know. Have you heard from them? No, I haven't. Wow, I hope they're doing, I'm going to reach out. And it's already 2 or 3 months later, right?
Yeah.
It's not that we don't want to help you. It's just that we don't hear from you and we don't see you. So it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? So
Right.
we're going
That's
to help you as
understandable.
much as you allow us to. We look forward to helping you reach all those goals. Let's just stay in constant communication and we'll make sure we make that happen. Your first training appointment, let's schedule that for sometime in the next 24 hours because until you see that first training appointment, you really don't even know what you're going to be doing with us. Okay. So let's make
Sure.
sure we
No,
do
that's
that.
awesome. Fair enough.
Yeah, tomorrow, I know you mentioned you and Art have some time tomorrow. Maybe we
Yep.
could do 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock. What's better for you?
6 o'clock would be work out best for him.
Perfect. Okay, that way you know exactly what we're going to be sharing with everybody else we talk to. All right,
Okay.
so I'm excited for you, Susan. We'll be keeping in touch.
Awesome.
Our next training is tomorrow night. The business overview. If you can bring Art with you to the office, it'll be at 6:30 in person, or if you absolutely can't make it, 7 p.m. on Zoom.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for
You're
your time.
welcome. Yeah,
All
of
righty.
course. I'm excited for you. We'll talk to you
Awesome.
soon. All
Uh-huh.
right.